Members of President Biden's family meeting at Camp David this weekend, reportedly blaming his top campaign advisors and the CNN moderators for the president's poor debate performance, saying advisors overprepared him and they should be fired or demoted. Reports are also revealing this morning that First Lady Jill Biden and his son Hunter were the loudest voices, urging the president to stay in the 2024 race. Time magazine reporting First Lady Jill privately assured donors Joe was, quote, ready to go before the debate. Billionaire investor and Pershing Square CEO Bill Ackman says he is no longer blaming Biden for refusing to step aside and is now saying it's really Jill Biden's fault. Here's what Ackman wrote on X. Jill Biden becomes irrelevant the moment her husband is no longer president. No more Air Force One, no more glamorous life, no more White House dinners for dignitaries, no more being treated like a queen when traveling the world. I'm sorry to be harsh, but what has become entirely clear is that the First Lady values what is best for herself over her husband's health and the safety and security of the country at large. Joining me now is North Carolina Congressman and co-chair of the GOP Doctors Caucus, Greg Murphy. He's also a member of the House Veterans Affairs, Ways and Means and Administration Committees. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning.
You also called out Jill Biden on X and said she has a doctorate, but she is not a doctor. You are.
Right. You know, Cheryl, I couldn't agree with Bill's comment more than anything. It's been seen now that the covering's been pulled off. The drape has been pulled back. That Joe Biden is not the man that all of the people that are saying they are and that he is. Pelosi says, oh, he's so smart. Schumer, oh, he's so acute and knowledgeable. He's not. He's not. He's an elderly man with failing faculties. And Jill Biden, she goes by Dr. Jill Biden. That irritates the hell out of me because she's putting her interests above the country's and actually above this man that she says that she loves with all her heart and that she's married to. The nation saw what the Democrats have always said. It's don't believe what you see, believe what we tell you. But now we saw, and we can't forget.
But at the end of the day, it is Biden's decision whether or not he steps aside, whether he does it now and puts Harris in as president or whether he waits till the convention, whatever. But it's his decision. And it sounds to me from everything, these reports coming out over this meeting yesterday at Camp David, the family is like, nope, you're not going anywhere.
Well, I think they're trying to do it for political reasons. Cheryl, I don't even know if he's able to make those type of decisions. God forbid, you look at what's happening around the world. Our adversaries are sitting back and Putin's laughing, Xi's laughing. They're all laughing at what's happening in the United States because we've all been fooled. The press secretary, Karine, gets up there and talks about how sharp he is. What a bunch of absolute liars. And what the debate has shown is that the Democratic Party, the Democratic intelligentsia, has been lying to the country. And, look at Hollywood, look at all the rock stars and everything that are jumping to Joe Biden's aid. This is all a charade. It's all a charade. I got slammed a few weeks ago because when Joe Biden came in and screamed for an hour and a half that I said he was jacked. Well, this is the difference between being jacked and unjacked. What was it, 6-8 weeks difference? I feel sorry for him. Personally, as a physician, I feel sorry for the man because he's in a very difficult stage of life. But my God, this is the #1 job in the whole world. The nation depends upon it, not a bunch of selfish Democratic elitists.
Congressman, the Wall Street Journal's editorial board writes about the mess the Democrats have made, Kamala Harris edition. It's a deep dive into everything that's happened in the Democratic Party. But they bring up something that you just pointed out, and that was that stance from KJP. This president is vibrant. He is active. He is in these meetings. He's making these decisions. The Wall Street Journal itself got heavily criticized for this article that came out last month in June that said that basically President Biden was not leading and that his faculties were diminished and that many that were meeting with the president privately were voicing real concerns on Capitol Hill. And even Dr. Fauci, his former chief medical advisor, defended the president's health. And this was just yesterday. Watch this.
You worked with him. You worked closely with him until you stepped down at the end of about a year and a half ago. Were you surprised by what you saw in that debate?
I don't want to comment on anything that would have any political implications. One thing I can say and feel comfortable about, as I have dealt with President Biden. And in my dealings with him, it's been really very positive. He asks probing questions. He's right on point on things. So my personal experience has been quite positive with him.
That is Dr. Fauci. Dr. Murphy, your reaction?
Well, sorry, Cheryl. The nation has learned not to believe a damn word that Dr. Fauci has said, and he's playing in the political scheme right there. So I'm writing that one off immediately.
All right. So after the debate, President Biden was actually campaigning in Raleigh, North Carolina. And he and the Democrats are placing a lot of focus on the Tar Heel state, obviously. The president has visited 3 times. Vice President Harris has been there 5 times. And Reuters is reporting that despite spending millions in advertising, hiring more campaign staff, county by county, touring to energize the black, the rural voters, that the efforts aren't working. Congressman, what is happening in your state right now?
I don't think people believe the message that they're putting out. I think this is the literal perfect truth is, and this is the Wizard of Oz, that the man behind the curtain, we pulled the curtain back, and no amount of advertising, no amount of dollars, no amount of Hollywood stars, you know, George Clooney or Taylor Swift saying he's okay is going to change the fact of what the American people saw. He's not been in charge. And you look at all the debacles that have happened during this administration, Afghanistan, the border, you name it. Who's been making these decisions? Has it been a cabal of Obama staffers that have been just basically telling the president what to say? I think that's really a big question in America's mind, who is making the decisions?
Bill Ackman's asking the question, is it Jill Biden? These are all fair questions, and it's open season now, frankly, after what we saw last Thursday. Real quick, Michael Balboni's got a question for you.
Congressman, as you know, Article 25 of the Constitution provides for an opportunity to replace an executive if, in fact, they found to be incapacitated. Are there any discussions going on in Washington right now about that type of inquiry?
I think there are, but to be honest with you, I think they're made by people who want to grab headlines. If you need to take these decisions and march down them 3 or 4 consequences. Then we ended up with Kamala running the country for 6 months. Good God. And then she's able to pull in another Democratic apologist, and they start this whole lying thing all over again. I think that we try to ride it out. I don't know the 25th Amendment at this point in time is the correct thing to do, but we're not in a good place because of the lies of the Democratic Party. It's
about the country, in particular, standing on the world stage right now. Congressman Greg Murphy, great to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.